Hello, everybody. I wanted to reference, for a little bit at least, our issues related to disabilities and harassments and accommodations. But in general, I want to talk about the workplace of 30 years ago versus the workplace today. The reason why laws are created is to correct, in many ways, a societal wrong. It could be an abuse, but in general, it's where one segment of the population treats another segment of the population unfairly. Doesn't matter what sizes of the population there are. But because of this treatment and abuse, the government passes a law that says, in essence, that everybody should be treated with a certain degree of respect and dignity, and that there should be fairness in all interactions throughout this country. Obviously, a very noble adventure and endeavor, one that most people would support. Some don't, but most people would support. People should be treated fairly. Let's talk about harassments and discriminations. The reason why disabilities, the reason those occur is because, at least physically or mentally, people may be different than others. Some may be born with one leg. Some may be having challenges mentally. Some may not be able to see or hear or smell. And as a result, that which we call a disability impedes their ability to be successful in certain areas of life. And one area of life that may impede, not necessarily prevent, but it just may be a roadblock, is in the workplace. The government has passed a series of laws, from the Family Medical Leave Act to the American Disabilities Act, that says that you at least have to try to accommodate somebody's disability and allow them to do the job. Accommodate doesn't mean that if they can't do the job, they can still get it. It just means that you have to at least try to see if there is what we call a reasonable accommodation to allow somebody to do the job. So before you turn somebody down, that is something that you have to look at. And that reasonable accommodation should not cause undue hardship to an organization, meaning you can't be forced to spend a tremendous amount of money in order to give an accommodation to an employee if that money would cause your business to go under. And that, at the very nature, we'll get into the specific laws at other days, but that specific nature of the law is to at least try to allow people who have had a challenge or a disability to become employed. It's a very noble law. It's a very noble aspect of the government. Same with discrimination. People are discriminated against because of their age, their race, their gender, their sexual orientation, their religion. The government says, in your private life, you can have these kinds of beliefs or discriminatory thoughts, because in this country you can believe what you want to believe. But in the workplace, remember, this is a workplace law, people forget. In the workplace, those cannot enter into the discussion on whether you hire, fire, promote, pay, anything to do with employment-related actions. You can't take into account any of those factors. And if you do, you would discriminate against somebody. And if you do that, then you have penalties, going back to our earlier discussion, which comes into the laws. Hopefully that gives you a sense of the law, why laws are created and what they're intended to address. We'll certainly talk more about it, but I wanted to give you that background. Everybody have a great day.